people started thinking, oh my God, we could get to a part where I don't have any food. Like, that's a real reality.
Yeah, people felt vulnerable.
They felt vulnerable.
Yeah.
So two things started happening to me during that. People started reaching out, asking me about hunting. And then when the George Floyd riots kicked in,
the guns.
People wanted to borrow guns.
Yeah.
People asked to borrow guns. How many guns do you have? Can I have one of your guns?
Yeah.
I was like, that's not legal. Because in Texas, I could just give you one, which is wild. Like in Texas, you don't even have to fill out paperwork. Like if you were a Texas resident and I was a Texas resident, I'm like, you like that gun? You can have it.
Oh yeah, most.
That's your gun.
I should say most places, but
Yeah.
that's the norm.
That's the norm.
Yeah.
But in California, I was like, I can't do that. It's absolutely illegal. I could go to jail for giving you a gun. Like you have to go through the whole process, and then the lines outside the gun stores were wild.
Because what you can't do is you can't go down and buy. You can't go down to the FFL, the federal you can't go down to a dealer
Gun store
and buy it and say it's for you, and then
give it to someone
but
else.
it's actually your buddy buying it.
Right.
That you definitely can't do.
Right. You can't do that.
But in terms of you legitimately went and bought it for yourself, and then you decided that you did not want it, you can gift that to a friend. But what they're trying to prevent is your buddy saying, "Hey, go down and buy it for me. I'm a felon and can't."
Right. That makes sense.
That's your ass. So they don't oddly they don't really prosecute people for lying on FFL statements.
Interesting.
It's a real issue.
well
yeah, that could be definitely an issue if someone's a felon. I mean, but then there's also
They'll reject the purchase and not go after the person.
But when they have those gun fucking conventions, when you can go and just, what do they call those things? When they,
Gun shows.
Gun shows where people just, that's a weird one, right?
Yeah.
It's like, they kind of can skirt around some regulations. And that was part of the things that people didn't like.
When you hear in the gun control debate, people talk about trying to close the gun hole loophole as they're trying to put it that they should be subject to FFL transfers. But like when my dad died and I got my dad's guns, we didn't do an FFL transfer.
no.
Right.
How does any kid get their first deer hunting rifle?
yeah.
Right.
It's
You
like
get it from your dad.
or your grandpa.
Yeah.
Or like, here you go, son.
Right.
Like that's just how it works.
It's wrapped up
Right.
under the tree, man.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of regulations that make sense, and there's a lot of them that don't. And most